Cam Newton is back to push the Brock Purdy conversation forward a little bit. Remember, he really started this Brock Purdy conversation a couple of months ago when Purdy was asserting himself as an MVP candidate, and Cam Newton came out in his podcast and said very confidently, Cam Newton, former MVP, that Brock Purdy is a mere game manager, not a game changer. Well, Newton's back, and he's clarifying his opinion, saying he never said Brock Purdy's trash, but he is a game manager. And that's because you can either be a game manager or a game changer in Cam Newton's eyes. And to be a true game changer, according to Cam, you have to be the best player on your offense, which, frankly, Cam was 10 years ago on the Panthers. That's his definition. You always have to give a person their axioms, their definition. That's how he defines it. Fine. Is Brock Purdy the best player on the Niners offense? I think most people would say no. Cam Newton says if you add all the players on the team, defense too, Brock Purdy's the 10th best player on the 49ers. And when you first hear it, it sounds really rude, mean, and maybe wrong. But then, I don't know, go through it. Let's list all the players who are the best at their position. Now, it's hard. Again, we'd like more clarification from Cam. Is this the most valuable players on the team or the best players? Because if you're saying best, then here's how I would go. Christian McCaffrey. Players I would rank in no particular order over Brock Purdy. Christian McCaffrey. He's a first-team All-Pro running back. He's the best running back in the league. He's better than Brock. Trent Williams. He's a first-team All-Pro left tackle. He's the best left tackle in the league. He's a future Hall of Famer. I'd rank him ahead of Brock. Brandon Ayuk. He's a second-team All-Pro wide receiver, which means he's a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. I'd rank him ahead of Brock. That's 3 guys. Debo. Debo is, well, he was a first-team All-Pro 2 years ago. He's still a top 10 weapon in the NFL. I'd put him ahead of Purdy. Kittle. George Kittle is the best tight end in the NFL. Brock Purdy is not the best quarterback in the NFL. I got to put Kittle ahead of Purdy. So that's 5 players on the offense right there. I'd rank Brock Purdy as the 6th best player on the Niners offense. No shame in that. It's a really good offense. Then if you add the defensive guys, Nick Bosa, he was the defensive player of the year a year ago, and he had a little bit of a down year this year, but he's still a top 5 D end in the NFL. He's better than Purdy. Fred Warner's the best middle linebacker in the NFL. He's better than Purdy. Travarius Ward is a second-team All-Pro cornerback, led the league in pass breakups. He's better than Purdy. That's 8 guys. And then you can't forget about Talanoa Hufanga, who was a first-team All-Pro safety last year, and really without him this year, tore his ACL, the Niners' run defense is completely falling apart. So that's 9 guys. I don't know if Cam Newton would name the same 9 guys, but I'd have to agree with him that right now Brock is 10th. Now, I just ran this by my dad, who is much smarter than me and more reasonable. And he says he would rank Purdy 3rd on the team after Christian McCaffrey and Trent Williams. It seems to be that my dad is ranking them more in terms of value, which is fair. And if you do value, you're always going to put the quarterback near the top. But in just terms of weighting all the positions equally and who's the best at their position, Purdy's a borderline top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Borderline. And there's about 8 or 9 guys in this team who are solidly top 5 or top 10 at their position. So I can't disagree with Cam Newton on this one. Where do you stand?